After introducing this course by presenting some background on financial markets as they are today, we will now study their origins and what has been the role of financial innovation in the development of the financial system over the course of history. We have now known for more than half a century that financial markets, in their primitive form, have existed since antiquity. The purpose of this chapter is to explore some historical financial innovations in order to understand the role of key inventions in the development of finance. It is not intended to be a course in economic history, neither archaeology, but rather to approach the concept of financial innovation chronologically by studying simple past innovations with the necessary insight to understand their origins and consequences. What were the motivations behind these inventions? What factors have enabled them to be sustained over time? In this chapter, we will explore a very brief history of financial innovation. Among the various readings that are offered, the inventions of interest rate, money, banking, and stock describe some major financial innovations from antiquity to the Renaissance. Of course, there are many others. The aim here is not to draw up an exhaustive list of all the financial innovations that participated in the evolution from the archaic financial system of the Babylonians to the complex financial markets we know today. The interest of this approach is that you can discover what defines a financial innovation by yourself from its history. The foundation of the first cities dates back to 3,200 years BC. Located in Mesopotamia, a historical region in the Middle East between the Tigris and Euphrates rivers, now Iraq, the emergence of cities was made possible by the development of agriculture. Indeed, the concentration of population was only allowed by the mastery of irrigation, sowing, harvesting, and storage techniques. In the logic of optimizing production, specialization appeared with the emergence of different trades. Although certain specificities, such as the seasonality of agricultural production, has led to the emergence of the intertemporal relationship between production and consumption. The management of scarce resources would not have been possible without the invention of writing and finance. From accounting to banking to the monetary system, all the main financial tools existed in antiquity. Among the oldest traces of the invention of writing, tablets written in the Sumerian language record trade in Mesopotamia. Also, the concept of interest, linked to that of credit, appears with the Code of Hammurabi, 1700 years BC. If the Babylonians preceded the Egyptians in the concept of banking, the latter were not outdone in terms of international trade. A multitude of fragments of parchments report an important import-export activity by sea. The temples were places of exchange and redistribution, and there were even provided activities of deposits of agricultural and manufacturing goods. There would be much to say about the emergence of money as a means of payment and its generalization by the Greeks, and also about the contribution of the Romans to monetary policy, but this is not the subject of this course. By reading the proposed documents, we will be able to study the origins and consequences of some financial innovations among those I have just mentioned. In discovering these historical examples, the question arises as to whether the concept of financial innovation has changed or not.